I cut the check, I cut the check, I cut the check. Tell my niggas we up next, so we up next. She shot a text, she shot a text, she shot a text. Kill the I might put the different day, put a nigga on that same shit. I've been ballin' with my niggas, Kevin Cambridge. Oh, you drippy, but you better tuck your chain quick.
What's good, y'all? We back with another quick episode of Between the Lines. Today I just want to talk about NBA basketball, man. We've been getting some really good games. It's been a nice opening week of basketball, really exciting, and let's just get straight into it. So, I just want to hop right into the Christmas games. They were kind of boring. Like, every game was pretty boring. It was terrible. Every game was pretty boring. And I'll start off in the beginning. We had Heat versus the Pelicans. That was decent in the first half, and then the Heat just started blowing them out of nowhere without Jimmy Butler, just showing that they're superior. But I love what I'm seeing from Brandon Ingram. It's not just scoring that he's doing this year. Brandon Ingram is a really underrated playmaker that he's been showing these last few games. And he feels like he's getting even more comfortable and even more better. And that should be scary because he was already a top player in the league last year. And he's supposed to get better. He's only like 23. So the fact that he's getting better is pretty scary. And you're seeing that he's been watching a lot of film of KD because now he's doing pull-up threes. He's doing threes. I mean, he's doing mid-range fades, right in your face, not caring because he's 6'11" with like a 7'5" wingspan. So, yeah, the fact that he's getting better, it looks scary for a lot of people. Zion looks slim, skinny. He's just being a monster in the paint. And like I said, when they got Steven Adams, I didn't like it. But sometimes it doesn't really look like he's affecting the Zion's play. Like you would think he would because Steven Adams is going to be in the paint. Because why would Steven Adams be on the 3-point line? Nobody's going to guard him out there. But he's not really affecting Zion like that. I would say one person that is doing bad is Eric Bledsoe. I'm not going to lie, he's doing pretty bad. Like he had a good first game, but after that it's just been downhill after that. And if I'm them, I'm trying to trade him, but like I don't even know what team want him. I guess like the Clippers probably. I don't know where they can trade him and get great value back because he is a good player. He is like a top 100 player, but like I don't know, man. I don't know. Just the offensive side of the ball is just not there at all. Defense there is always there. Like yesterday, he did have a game-saving block against the Spurs. He did have a game-saving block, but like the offense is never there. It's never there. But Lonzo is hooping. Lonzo is hooping. He's hooping. Hitting mid-range shots. His three looks even better. He's still being a great playmaker, a great defender. Lonzo is getting better. He's going to get that extension. And like I said, I wanted Lonzo to average 16 points. I think he can do that. I think he can average 16, 8, and 5. I really think he can do that. And he will get that extension if he does do that. But the Pelicans hooping. I think they're 2-1. They just won yesterday, and they won opening night and lost to the Heat. So they're 2-1. But they look really good. I don't know how long Jimmy Butler's out for the Heat, but they didn't really need him when they played. They beat the mess out of the Pelicans. But the next game was the Warriors versus Bucks. Chris Middleton had a field day out there. Giannis didn't really have to do nothing. Even Dante DiVincenzo hooped. That team just hooped as a collective that day and blew the Warriors out. Kelly Oubre, you're gonna have to make a shot. If they want to win the game, Kelly Oubre has to make a shot. They played 3 games. Kelly Oubre has not made a shot other than a dunk in 3 games. That is terrible. That's terrible. I was one to say, like, the first 2 games, I was like, I expect this Warriors team to get better when Draymond comes back. But, like, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know what Draymond can do. Not as far as a player. Like, I don't understand, like, what he can do to make this better. Because they're getting the shots they want. They just not hitting them at all. Like, Wiggins and Kelly Oubre just cannot shoot like that. And I don't understand. I don't know how that's going to help with Draymond's game. Because Draymond's game is just, where the shooters at? Find the shooters, passing it to them, setting screens for the shooters. You really cannot do this with this team because they only have a couple shooters. Steph Curry, of course, Damian Lee, who just hit a game-winning shot, great shot. And now number 15, doing Mulder, he's a really good shooter. But that's it. And Mulder barely gets playing time. Damian Lee sometimes his playing time is off and on. But yeah, I don't know what this. I don't know how it's gonna be when Draymond comes back. But the good thing is James Wiseman doesn't really know what he's doing out there, and he's still out there playing really, really good. So that's good. Steph Curry had an MVP type game yesterday where he just carried, even though he's in the shooting slump himself. I don't know what's in that water in Golden State, but they all not shooting really good. Steph Curry is not shooting good at all, but he's still at 36, and that's crazy. But once you get out of that shooting slump, I feel like he can push this team. He can push his team. Once him and Kelly Oubre get out the shooting slump, they can push the team. Andrew Wiggins had a decent game yesterday. He had 19 points. But other than that, Warriors team scary. Marquise Chris broke his leg, his right fibula. That hurts. That hurts. That was a big piece off that bench. That hurts. I hope he gets better quick. I hope so, because he's supposed to get his money next season. He's hooping. I like Marquise Chris. He was a great addition for this team. They really needed somebody like him, a person that can go get alley hoops, that plays good defense, and that can shoot, spread the floor, really good screens. That would have been a big piece, but they lost him. Yeah, they lost him. So I don't know. They lost him for the year, but I think they can get like money for him. Like they did with Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson got hurt, so they got $18 million. Like Marquise Chris is out for the year, so maybe they can get some money where they can go pick up somebody else that they really need. But next game that day was the Lakers versus the Mavericks. Another blowout. Kristaps is still not playing. They're not going to rush him back, which they shouldn't rush him back because he does get hurt a lot, and he is a top player that they got to protect. So, Luka and the Mavericks lost that game, and I'm not really bugging off that game. It was a game without their second best player, and the other team is 2 top 5 players in the league, and they were hooping. I guess Montrezl Harrell had a great game, but I don't see him doing that consistently. And Dennis Schroeder had a great game. I like how he looks next to LeBron. Doesn't really look like he's losing a step next to LeBron, so I like that. Game after that, Clippers versus the Nuggets. Paul George is back, like I said, and they just blew the Nuggets out. Kawhi Leonard had a bad, nasty injury from an elbow from Serge Ibaka. That don't look nasty, but I think he just messed up some of his teeth. Kawhi is getting like $34 million. He'll fix that in a couple of days. But yeah, nothing really to overreact from the Nuggets, man. I just feel like they had a hard hard first 2 games. Like they played a fast Kings team, an exciting Kings team that had that. The buzzer beater was lucky. Let's be honest, it was lucky. But that Kings team is a team that always competes, so you never know what you're going to get with them. So I'm not really mad that they lost that game. And then you play the Clippers, who's still arguably better than the Nuggets, even though the Nuggets beat them last year. So I don't know. I'm not really overreacting. Hopefully, I feel like the thing with them is they gotta make Michael Porter Jr. that guy. They don't run plays through him at all. And then when he gets the ball, he shoots that because he don't know the next time he's gonna get the ball because they're gonna keep trying to force it to Jamal Murray. They're gonna keep trying to force it to Jokic. And then sometimes it's not going to work for them. But you have a generational talent on that team that you gotta work the game through him sometimes too, because he can put y'all into that contender element. But right now they're not. But yeah, that was it for Christmas. Heading to the Saturday and Sunday games. This is the main topic. I'm gonna save it. Saturday we had Charlotte versus the Thunder. This was a big game for me. I wanted to see how Shai Gilgeous does with all the intention on him, even though he played not really a good team in the Hornets. But he actually did really good. Almost had a triple-double. Hit the game-winning shot. I loved his reaction after the game-winning shot. For him, it looked so effortless. It was just a little step back. Shai's game is smooth. I never want to seem like I hate on Shai because I do talk about Shai a lot. But his game real smooth. And I don't know. We'll see if he can keep that team afloat. I don't think so. I think that this is the year where they're really going to tank. We all thought it last year, but this is a real year. Darius basically had a great game. I'm happy that he's getting the chance to actually start and play minutes. Lou Dort's actually doing something other than playing defense. No offense to him, but I didn't really think he could do what he be doing. Like, he be taking the ball off the dribble. The shot still looks good. So, I'm happy for him. And now that I think about it, I shouldn't even thought that. Because Lou Dort in Arizona State was nice. And he was not just a defender. He was actually the best player on that team. So, yeah, I'm crazy for thinking that. Theo Maledon played good off their bench. That was a good pickup for them. Al Horford played decent. George Hill looks great for that team, and I hope they trade him because like he can be valuable on any contender, and they can get picks back from like 30 picks they already have, so that can be great for them. Trying to think of games on the fly. That's just going to yesterday. The Mavericks blew out the Clippers badly. They beat them by like 50. They were up by 50 in the first first half, and I was on Twitter. I was scrolling, and it was like the Mavericks are beating the Clippers 68-18. I said, "What the fuck? What?" And like you go on the timeline, you see all the Clippers fans talking about, "Oh, we don't have Kawhi. Well, they don't have Kristaps, so I don't want to hear that. Lace them up and go play basketball. And they were when I was watching the rest of that game, bro. The Mavs. And I'm talking about 1 through 15. They just were not missing, and I can't really be mad at the Clippers because they were not They just were not making. The Mavericks was just hitting every shot, and it was bad. It was bad. PG said he put that game on himself, but I'm like, nah, PG, nah, fuck that. You had the most points, bro. You had the most points. I'm not. Don't even put that on yourself. Y'all just could not make a damn shot. It was terrible. But you get games like that once in a blue moon, but not like that. Not blowing out by 50. But it's nothing to overreact to. It's a third game. We're not gonna act like they didn't just beat the Lakers convincingly. They didn't just blow out the Nuggets convincingly. So I'm not gonna overreact on that. But that was a good win for the Mavericks. They were 0-2 before that win. They really needed that win. So hopefully that can give them some confidence. And yeah, hopefully they can build on that because Kristaps should be back in a week or two, hopefully. But the Bucks got beat by the Knicks. I don't want to talk about that, but Jesus, they got beat, but they were fully healthy too, and the Knicks weren't even fully healthy, but they got beat by the Knicks, but 20. We had the Cavs versus the Pelicans. Pistons, but I want to say that. It's one more game I feel like I'm forgetting. Shit. Hold on. Please forgive me. It's a lot of great games. Oh, Pacers versus Celtics. That was a really good-ass game. Jason Tatum, you got to find another move. Like, bro, I'm pretty sure everybody knows sidestep 3. It's just that's it. And that's no offense to him, bro, but that's all he has. When it comes down to it, he can shift you up, but like they were down by 1 yesterday. Clear court. You shoot a sidestep 3 far. It was a far 3 too. It wasn't like no close 3 like he usually should. It was a far 3. I'm like, Jason, like get a new shot. And I think he had Malcolm Brogdon on him. Like, if you don't take his little tail, you're 6'8", he's 6'3", take him. But they lost. Sabonis is underrated, dog. That dude averaging like 24 and 15. He's a walking double-double, and he can pass the hell out the ball. Now he's starting to shoot more. His defense is not that bad. Sabonis is so underrated. I seen the post the other day. They said if Sabonis scored 100 points, nobody would care. And I'm like, that's true, and that's messed up because Sabonis is that guy. He's that guy. He's obviously the best player on that team. This team actually looks really, really good. I'm not gonna lie, they look really, really good. Victor Oladipo doesn't look like the old Victor Oladipo, but he does look like the Victor Oladipo after the year that they went to the playoffs and almost beat LeBron. He looks like Victor Oladipo that got hurt after that year, where he was still an all-star, but he wasn't as good as he was the year before. But he's averaging 20. TJ Warren's still averaging his 20. Miles Turner not playing bad. Malcolm Brogdon's doing what he did last year as far as in the first half of the year. He looks like an all-star. Their bench looks good. Aaron Holiday, Justin Holiday. Doug McDermott just had 16 points yesterday. Like, this team looks really good. And I forgot what their coach name is, but I like the way he's running this team. A lot of pick and roll heavy, but then sometimes he'll let you ISO on the corner. And they look really good. I'm not going to lie. They look really good. But this is the thing with that team. They always look like pretty good, but like when it comes to the playoffs, they're either getting bounced out first round or third round. Or second round because they don't have that player. Sabonis is coming to being a top 25 player, but he's not that player. Like they need a star. But team looks really good. Other than that, they look really good. But like I said, Celtics look decent. I said this a couple days ago when they played the Bucks, but I like the lineup of having Daniel Tyson, Tristan Thompson starting for right now. But they just gotta find Jason Tatum. If you're gonna be a closer for that team, you gotta find another move. Goddamn, that move is really predictable. It's really predictable for that team. Kings beat the Suns on Saturday. Good game. Timberwolves beat somebody on Saturday. Cat dislocated his wrist. I feel bad for Cat. Just seeing the stuff that he be saying, like he's saying the old Cat, he died on April 13th, and that was the day his mom died, and that's just sad. That's sad. And then he dislocated this year, so he's gonna be out for even more longer, and that's just like, yo, come on now, like he can't catch a break. But God puts you in these positions that he know you're gonna get out of, so I know you're gonna be good. But yeah, they won, and he came back and finished that game. That just shows you that he wants to win. Great player, love Cat. But they won on Saturday. Got blown out yesterday by the Lakers. We got our new jerseys. We better not lose on those. Them jerseys are fire. But this is what I really want to talk about. My Cavs look amazing. And it's 3 games. So I'm not going to overreact. As far as us playing basketball, not us winning games, us playing basketball, we look really good. JB's Bickerstaff, our new coach, he has this scheme where it's not ISO heavy. Like it was with Joe Beeline, Tyronn Lue. We had another interim coach. I think it was Lloyd Pierce. It was another black too. I forgot his name. But like, it's not ISO heavy at all. Like, we pass the ball a lot, but we still be putting up shots. And like, I'm gonna just go through our whole team. Colin and Darius, they're playing out of their fucking mind. I don't mean to cuss, but bro, those are my boys, bro. I love them boys, and they're hoping. Darius Garland is a player that a lot of Cavs fans and a lot of just NBA fans in general gave up on so quick because he had a terrible year last year. And I understand he had a terrible year, and if you look at the advanced stats, he was the worst player in the league. I understand that, but to give up on him in 1 year, that's terrible. And plus, he went to college, played 5 games towards ACL. Then you go to the NBA, you're thrown right into the fire, and you're starting point guard. That is harder than a lot of people think. So it took time for him to get back into basketball shape because he's been missing basketball for a whole year when he tore his ACL. So I was never going to give up on Darius. I knew he was going to have a great season, but I didn't think he was going to start off like this. Boy, he looks confident as hell. Playmaking has always been there. I hate when people say the Cavs have no playmaker. Darius is obviously our playmaker. He's averaging 19 and 8 right now, 8 assists, and he's balling. He had a double on Saturday, 22 and 12. But he's balling. Colin's doing what Colin does, just up the points a little bit more, even up the assists. He's averaging 4 assists. So I still don't want to hear that we don't have a playmaker stuff. I don't want to hear that. And they're doing it with shooting consistently. Colin's always been a consistent shooter, but Darius is shooting consistently. They both had an off game yesterday, but they were still on fire yesterday. And I'm just loving what I'm seeing from my boys. Shetty Osman is coming off the bench, averaging 20. If you do that, Shetty, I love you. I'm happy that he's taking his role off the bench because that's the type of player he is. I like the energy and stuff he brings off the bench. The shooting he brings off the bench, he doesn't miss like that. Larry Nance is a great underrated player that people really don't talk about that. But now that we're winning, people are just realizing how good that he actually is. And I realized this last year. I used to never like Larry Nance, but like he changed his game with us. And he's more of a playmaker. He's like a Draymond. He's more of a playmaker. He can shoot the ball. He can bring the ball up court. And he can pass the ball at a really good level. He plays really good defense. The energy is always there. Plays above the rim. Like, I like his role for us. And when Kevin Love is gone, because he needs to be gone, I want him to be our starting power forward. But I'm happy I love how we look. Isaac Okoro looks good. You know, the last game he played was Saturday and he didn't score no points. It didn't really seem like it because he was doing great on the defensive side. He caused 2 crucial turnovers. One on Safi Mikhailou, who tried to shoot the ball over him, couldn't, and one on Jeremy Grant. And they were crucial turnovers that made us go into overtime. So Isaac Okoro is playing really good with us. I like that we picked him. Drummond, get to Drummond. I'm gonna be honest. Defense is elite. Drummond sticks elite defense. I always heard him say he wants to be defensive player of the year. I was like, bro, you're not that. But like going out guarding D Rose, guarding Ben Simmons some of the time, getting steals for him, blocking almost every side. Bro, I want to look at his stats. He has to average like at least 3 blocks. Andre is balling on the defensive side. We'll talk about the offensive side, but on the defensive side, he's balling. I love what he brings to the team as far as defense, but the offense gets him. He's averaging 2 blocks and 2 steals. I thought it was way more than that. But that's per 36. I don't want to see that. He averaging 2.7 blocks and 2.7 steals and 2 blocks. So he's doing really good on defense. But the offensive side is what I want to talk about. Saturday, he put up 21 shots. Yesterday, he put up 18 shots. Andre Drummond is not a player that should be putting up over 15 shots. I'm sorry. This is the thing with Andre Drummond. He does not know his role. He wants to be a point forward. It's just not there, bro. It's not you. He's a top 15, arguably top 10 center in the league. But if you was to ask him, he'll think he's top 5, top 3. And it's not there, Dre. It's not, bro. It's not. But like on the offensive side, he does decent. As far as picks, he's a lob threat. He gets us our offensive rebounds, gets us our second chance points. And when it comes to the paint, he's good sometimes. But when Andre Drummond decides to face up and tries to ISO you, it's so obvious what he's going to do. If you watch film or if you watch a Cavs game, you already know what he's about to do. He's going to face up, in and out, crossover, and try to draw the foul. It's every time. And that shit gets on my nerves. I'm like, yo, why are we running the offense through Andre Drummond? Why is he getting ISO plays? Like, what the hell? Like, no, he should not be getting ISO plays for us. That's not how we should be running the game, bro. That's not, bro. That's not. But he's not playing terrible, so I'm cool. But this is the thing I don't want him to do. If he plays good the whole season, the Cavs are going to sign that boy to what the Jazz just signed Rudy Gobert to it. The Jazz just signed Rudy Gobert to $40 million a year. That's the highest pay of any center of all time. If we sign Drummond to even $25 million a year, I would be pissed off. He's just not, that type of center is not what the league is going into. The league is going into a shooting league where everybody has to know how to shoot, has to know how to spread the floor and create for their own. Drummond is just not that. He's not. He's a rebounding center who also is good on defense. That's it. He's a post center. That's not what the league is going into. So I hope we don't fall for the bait. I hope not. But he's having a really good season. I want to get Kevin Love out of there. There's no hate to him. It's just we're being young. We're a young team. Let's get some more young players for Kevin Love while his value is high, even though he's playing terrible. But he did just come back for an injury, so hopefully he gets the shooting up. But he got hurt again yesterday. He just always gets hurt. But I love what my team's doing, man. I love it. We should definitely beat the Knicks tomorrow, so we should be 4-0. And we're number 2 in the division, in the conference. But I think we can make a play-in game. I'm not saying we're going to make the playoffs. I say play-in game. Because when you looked into the preseason power rankings, everybody didn't even think we were like that. I seen some people say we were better. We were the worst team in the league, worse than the Pistons, the Charlotte Hornets. I'm like, nah. I think we're really better than a lot of people gives us credit for, and it's showing. But other than that, that's it for this episode. I'm gonna call this like weekly episode. I'm gonna do weekly episodes on Mondays. Just recap the whole week. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'll see y'all next week with another episode.